Hello, everyone, and welcome to our pre-conference live number 5. So I am excited and nervous at the same time because that means that we are really close to the conference, meaning 2 days, right? Because we have Friday and then Saturday, and then Sunday is the conference. So, two things. If you already have your ticket, I'm so excited you're coming, and I hope that you have emptied out your schedule. You've let your loved ones know. We're going to talk about this today. How do we deal with a Zoom conference, a conference online? A lot of questions have been coming up with how do we deal with that, because it's great to be home. We don't have to travel, but we have other challenges. And if you don't have your ticket, then it's about you jumping. This is the last chance to grab your ticket for Sunday. I do think that we're going to make history with this conference. I really think. I really think that the people, the women, the Jewish women entrepreneurs who have been drawn and who have been attracted and by this conference are women that are going to make history with what they're going to bring into the world. And I'm not saying this to give us credit, because we're just quote unquote creating the space and allowing this to happen and bringing all the components so that the experience can happen and the transformation can happen. But I think that you guys, the people that are going to come to the conference, are going to be the change makers, and you are going to be the ones that make a difference in the world. We're just allowing this to happen. So about that, I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about what is the difference between a Zoom conference and an in-person conference. So as you know, we started this whole idea of a conference to have it in Jerusalem, have it in person, and being able to hug each other and to be with each other, which I love and I miss. And this was what was supposed to be for January 2024. Now, as you know, October 7th happened. We said we can't organize a global conference in Israel. It's too risky, and we moved the conference online. And then a lot of questions happened, and we actually had people who, Batren, if you're listening, Batren sent us this question, and I want to talk about on the side of you, the participant. How do you deal with a conference online when you have kids at home and when you have a life happening? So on the one hand, you don't have to take the plane or the train or the car or sit in traffic or leave your kids alone or get a babysitter or stop your whole life for a few hours before the conference, a few hours after, sometimes even days, because you have to travel. So on the one hand, it's a great thing because Zoom, and not only Zoom events platform, but the online platforms, is allowing us to be more flexible, to stay at home, to not have to travel, not spend money or time in traveling. A lot of things are good in this, but the other side of it is that we have people at home. We have the same kids that we're not leaving alone, but they're here, and we're not really. We don't really know how to manage, my me time, and the other people, not necessarily only your kids, but it could be people that you have at home or people that come by or people, friends and families and your partner or your husband. And so we have to deal with that. And I want to address that. And the second is that we know as organizers of conference, and I've done many events online, even like full days events, even like a few days events online. We once had a 3 days retreat online. You have other challenges as an organizer and as person who is putting together the conference. We have other challenges because we know that our participants are not 100% with us. We know that you guys are going to be with your phone or with your social media or with your email or with whatever it is that you have, and you're going to be not going to be, hopefully not, but you might not be 100% focused on the conference. So I want to start from the participant side and from the organization side, and then we're going to get to the transformation and the experience, what is going to happen. So on your side, the participant, whether you have your ticket or not, this could be good advice whenever you connect online or whenever you want to focus on something. It all starts with mindset. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. When someone says, I would love to come to your conference, but I don't have time. I have meetings. My kids are at home. I can't, my husband is not available. but all of those buts, sometimes they're valid, and that's, we are each responsible to make our own decisions in terms of priority, in terms of time management. That's for sure. But sometimes, and I see it with myself, I'm not talking only about you, I'm talking about myself. When we really want something to happen, and when we know that what is going to happen is going to be a game changer for ourselves, for our mindset, for our leadership, for our business, for our network, for our global connections, for everything that we really stand for, then you basically have to make a choice, which is, okay, what is the priority here? How do I make this happen? But not from a place of, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be available on Sunday. Can you please take care of the kids? Right? But more from a place of, this is important for me. This is something that I've been working towards. This is something that I've been looking forward. This is something that is going to change my mindset, my connections, my networking, my global connections. It's something that is going to open doors and open my mindset to different things that I've never been exposed to. And it's going to take things out of me that I feel I need to come out, but I don't know, I don't have the place to let all this happen. I need to have me time on Sunday. And when you position it like that, whoever is around you, whether it's your partner or your kids or your loved ones or someone who's helping you, with the kids, whoever it is, they feel that you have made a decision and that this is something important for you and that this is a priority and that you are in control of how you manage your priorities. Because you see, this is also part of being a leader, right? Part of being a leader is knowing how to control your time, how to control your priorities, how to prioritize what you have to do, and how to manage it in a way that it's not only what's urgent that comes first, but it's what's important that comes first, right? You probably know this difference between important and urgent. We usually go to the things that are urgent, whether they're important or not, and we leave the things that are important on the side because we can always postpone it unless they become urgent, and then we do them. So that's a really important point to take as a leader. You're always going to have conflicting things to do, right? Do I take care of the kids or my business? Do I go out or stay in? Do I work on my social media or my sales? Do I, go get my hair done, or do I sit down with a friend for coffee? We always have those conflicts or those dilemmas, right? Maybe not conflicts because they're dilemmas, that we have to make choices, right? Do I watch a film now, a movie, or do I, answer my emails, right? Do I sleep late, or do I, go to bed late? Like how am I positioning myself, and what decisions am I going to make, and how am I solving those dilemmas? Now, sometimes it may seem like a small dilemma, like am I watching a movie or eating breakfast or dinner or whatever. It could be, it could look like a small dilemma, but if you've had a hard time making decisions, then you might recognize yourself that it's not really the options, it's the fact that you have to make a choice. It's the fact that you have to say, am I staying with the kids on Sunday, or am I being focused on the conference, right? So it doesn't really matter how important the choice is, it's the fact that I have to choose one or the other. Most people, and I hope you're not there, most are going to stay in the middle. I'll do both at the same time. I'll watch the conference and take care of the kids, or I'll watch the conference and answer my emails, or I'll do both, right? I'll make it work, right? Now, that is not a proactive choice. That is a passive choice. That is more being like a victim and more, following than saying, no, I need to decide. I'm spending an hour now looking, answering my emails, and then I'm closing my mailbox and I'm just focusing on the conference. And the truth is that only I, which means only you, can decide. You are the only one who can decide where your attention goes. But as you know, where attention goes, focus goes, and where focus is, success comes. That's what you should know. If you have your attention on something, you're going to be focused. Once you're focused on something, you're going to be successful at it. You're going to have results. You're going to see differences. You're going to make an impact. You're going to have aha moment. And I'll speak about all this during the conference, of course, because I think that we need to put ourselves in a mindset. And listen, I've been there. I've registered to online webinars, conference, seminars, however you want to call it. And I've said, yeah, I'll just do this at the same time. And every time I did this, I didn't have the results. I didn't have the transformation. I didn't see anything. I didn't understand. I didn't, no consequence on me at all. Like it wasn't like no impact. And then I would say, oh, this conference is not great. Well, it's not because of the conference. It's because of me. It's because of how I show up. It's because of how I decide to be there and to really open my mind and to really receive and to really let the whole transformation happen. So that is the answer to what do I do? How do I focus? How do I concentrate? It starts with you. It starts with, and this is something I'll remind everyone before the conference, is really to focus within yourself and to really decide, like, what am I expecting out of this conference? What is, I'm here, I spend money because we ask for a donation. Okay, so this is not a free event. This is an event where you are investing not only money but time and energy. And as we know, time is even more expensive than than money, because money we can always make more of, but time there is a shortage. Like, you come at the end of the day, you can't go back. That's it. So the fact that you're deciding to invest those hours in the conference means that you know that it's important. And we're going to actually, in the beginning of the conference, take the time to focus inside and say, okay, why is this important? What is the result that I want to get? And why am I investing my time? And why do I want to focus? And why is it important that I have boundaries around people that need me, or my loved ones, or my kids, or anyone, my clients, my social media, my business? How do I really make a difference between what I need right now, what's important for me? How do I make a boundary with, no, I can let them know that this is not a time that I can be available. So that is the part of the participant. And I hope that whether you already have your ticket to the conference or you're still on the fence, this is advice that you should take wherever you do, whenever you decide to focus on something. But again, the online dimension and aspect is more challenging. So that's why I'm speaking about this specifically for the conference. The second aspect is for us, right? And when I say us, I mean me and the team. We have, I think last time I checked, 16 or 18 speakers. We have head of committees, we have board of advisors, we have chapter leads, we have facilitators. We have a whole team. I should count. I think it's around 25 or 30 people that are whole. Everyone is working together towards this conference. And we are all like putting together our best like ideas and brainstorming and thinking, how can we make this conference amazing? Because we know that whatever we're going to put, it's not only the speakers, it's also the energy, it's also the content, it's also how everyone is prepared, it's also how what we are planning in terms of proactive transformation for you guys, for the participants. And so we have been talking about this a lot. And I think that this is very important for an event, any event. We want to talk about the energy and the ambiance and the atmosphere and the and what are we expecting and what is going to happen and what do we want to happen, what is the result. So this is always important, whatever you organize. But then when you're online, like I said before, there is an additional challenge. And this additional challenge is that not only do you have to create that space and that atmosphere and that energy, but people can just they can just disappear, like not be with you. Even if you see a little square on Zoom with the name, you don't know what they're doing. There might be cooking, or there might be, taking care of their kids, or maybe putting away things, or doing the dishes, or answering their emails. Like there might be in a different world. And so it's so much more important to work on engagement and interaction when we have an event online, because if we want anything to happen, the results that we want to happen, we need to really, really get interaction and engagement. So there is the responsibility of the participant, which we spoke before, which is you have to make a decision that you want to be there, that this is important, that you're going to make it a priority. But there is the responsibility of us, the organizers and the content providers and the speakers. And how do we make sure that you are staying engaged and we're not making things boring or not interesting? And so yesterday I had a conversation exactly on that with Nava Schaffner, which I thank so much. I don't know if she's watching this, but she is going to be one of the moderators of the conference. She's a strategic consultant for nonprofit. We had a great connection right away when, like Sharon Altschul is the one who put us in contact, because she's our head of the speakers committee. And as soon as we connected, we really hit it off and was like, yeah, this is great. Like, she really understood the conference. She understood the leadership aspect. She understood the Jewish woman, dimension. So it was really great. And yesterday, she called me and she said, do you need my help? She was so sweet. And she was like, do you need my help? I can help you, because she's moderating a panel. And we got to talking about the schedule of which I showed in one of the lives, the schedule of the conference and the speakers. And she made me realize that I've packed so much, because I want to provide you with a lot of information and inspiration and speakers. And she was like, well, you might have to rethink the schedule. So I'm still working on it, because it is really, really packed, because I really wanted you guys to get a lot of value out of this conference. But then we started thinking together on how can we make this more interactive? How can we make this more engaging? And something came up from this conversation, which I really thank Nava for. We realized that all the women, all of you guys that are going to be on the conference are basically already leaders. And you are already like potential speakers. Like, you could be the one giving the content. Everyone who is coming to this conference can be a potential speaker, is already a leader, can inspire, and is probably inspiring in their circles. And so we realized that it wasn't like, okay, you have the people that are going to be inspiring and the people that are inspired, and, boom, boom, I'm giving content to inspire, and you're like only receiving. We realized that basically there is like an exchange, right? There are the people, the speakers that I've invited, that Sharon helped to find, that everyone put together their mind to think, who can be a Jewish woman leader, who can inspire on Jewish leadership, on activism, on how do we take that next step in our leadership. So we did have that, okay, we have that list of women, but like I said, on the other hand, the participants, people that are going to come, they could all be speakers, and all have something to say. So we said that we have to find a way, and it's still a work in progress. So I hope that you'll come to the conference and you'll discover it with me. But I think it's a great idea to have the conference that is happening. Of course, the speakers are going to speak, and we're going to have inspiration and content, and of course, but we also want to have a very live interaction and engaging conversation with the participants while the speakers are speaking, like at the same time. So meaning, like, we want to have an active listening exercise where the participants are not just listening like this. I mean, best case scenario, and if not, it's like this, typing or watching or whatever. But we want the participants to also participate to the subject and the topic that is happening, so that we can, if you want, like, do a crowdsourcing or crowdfund, like, it's not crowdfunding, I think it's funding is the money, crowdsourcing, so we can collectively talk about the topic, and each speaker is going to bring their topic, but the participants are going to be able, you guys are going to be able to say what you think, express your comments, give feedback, bring a highlight, bring an example, and then the beauty of this, which again is talking with Nava yesterday, so was really creative moment of, wow, this is great, is that we're going to have a chat moderator. Okay, not sure yet who, but we're working on this. And then all the ideas that are going to come in the chat, we're going to bring them together in some sort of visual or presentation, so that at the end of the conference, we can show you the result of our collective, the collective content, if you may, or wisdom, the collective wisdom that we are bringing from this conference, that we're making happen from this conference. And I think that this is just a missing piece that I was looking for, because I had all kinds of ideas to have worksheets that people should fill out during the conference, during the speech. But I was like, yeah, but then everyone's going to be in their bubble, filling in their worksheets. And again, we don't have time to have like interactions and feedback sessions the whole day, because if not, then, it's going to take so much time. But this, having an interactive chat where something is happening in the chat while the woman, yeah, very exciting. Oh, I'm so happy you're getting the idea. I know it's taking me a long time to explain it, because I'm still putting it together, and I think that if this is working, then this is something that should be implemented in any and every online event. Can you say who you are? Whoever said very exciting, because I don't see your name. But basically, we are going to want to have the participants very involved in the creation of this collective wisdom, so that at the end of the conference, hi Mara, yeah, I know you would get that, right? Exactly. So that at the end of the conference, we have deliverable, which we'll send to the participants, by the way, so that everyone will have access to this collective wisdom, where the speakers, of course, brought their piece, because they're the one inspiring, but the participants are also bringing their piece, and we're bringing together quotes and highlights of what the speaker said, but also feedback and insights and comments from the group. So that's my news for today. I mean, this conference has to happen because we have a new idea every day, and then I'm like, we don't have time to implement everything, but it's so exciting, right? To implement those ideas and to do it together. That's what I love. I love that this idea came from a conversation with Nava yesterday. And I mean, I can't tell you all the conversations I'm having, because I'm having everyday conversations with so many people. But every time there's a conversation and someone says something, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then we're co-creating, right? This is the co-creation. And because we're talking about it together, something else happens. Like, we're creating a new reality and a new concept even. So yesterday with Nava, we both shared our experience and our questions, and then this is what we came up together by co-creating. And so we still have to continue to talk about that, but I wanted to share this with you because I think that's going to be a very important part of the conference. And we'll communicate about this, but it's kind of hard to communicate an experience. So I hope that you'll come and you'll see it for yourself. You still have time tomorrow to get the tickets. We are going to wait until the US also get on board. So our deadline for registration is going to be Saturday night. But if you know someone, or if you yourself are on the fence, or if you know someone who can benefit from this conference, invite them to co-create with us. That's what we're going to do together. There's no teaching or even inspiration. It's going to be a co-inspiring event. I am really excited. I've got to get some sleep before Sunday, because if not, I'm going to come like this. I'm like really adrenaline right now, but Sunday is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I know that whoever is going to be at this conference is going to be the right person who is called to come and who is resonating with everything that we're saying. And so when someone is telling me, I don't think I have time, I'm like, great, because that means you're not the right person. If you see this conference and you're like, no, I have other things to do. Like someone said to me, no, my Sundays are too important, I can't. I'm like, amazing, great. This is someone who has clarity that right now in their life, they need to have time on Sundays. And that is great, because the worst is to have someone who's here but doesn't want to be here, right? So if you yourself want to come, then really check if this is something you're ready and you want to do. And if you're thinking of someone else to bring, then look for the motivated people. I've had people who wrote me emails and messages, I want to be in this conference, what can I do? And those people, I told you about the person, I forgot her name, Sherry, I think. Don't take me, because I really I actually don't know her, but she wrote to me on LinkedIn, and she was like, I'm coming to the conference. I never spoke to her. She's so opposed. And she was in California. So I said to her, do you know that you're going to have to wake up at 4 a.m. because the event starts at 2 p.m. Israel time? We tried to make it 7 a.m. for Eastern time, but we couldn't, have an event for all the time zones. And so I hope that it's okay that it's at 4 a.m. She said, yeah. And she paid full donation. She was like, yes, I want to be there. I have to talk about it. This is so important. I'll get up at 4. She was so motivated, right? So this is it. We want to attract the people that really understand the importance of this conference. And if this is you, then great, come on board. And if this is not your priority right now, it is fine. We need to know what our priorities are. But if you are, then join us, and I will see you on. So obviously tomorrow, Friday, we won't have a live. Maybe I'll come in on Saturday night for a live. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But at least on Sunday, for sure, we are seeing each other. So I can't wait. And until then, have a Shabbat Shalom and a good weekend and a restful and peaceful, right? I have to remember to breathe. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you on Sunday. Exciting. Don't forget to join.